Now after lunch we have a real heartbreaker, and I mean it's going to grab you by the throat and choke you, and your heart's going to go up. And we've got an engine over here we're going to look at. And this car here, we bought this car from a gentleman. He said, I got a lifter noise. And he brought the car in, and I said, oh my God, that's not a lifter noise. That's a connecting rod knock. Okay? And sure enough, that engine is ready to blow up. We're going to diagnose the noise, the connecting rod knock, and then we're going to put it up in the air, and Mr. Bill is going to be involved because we're going to rev that baby up until the rods come out the engine.
Transmission will zoom, zoom. We'll try to push the clutch, keep the gas pedal down. See the rear wheels spinning around. Another gear, another squeal. Starting to drift, power slide, I feel. Radio belts wrapped around our minds. And endless asphalt to keep the law behind.
Now, the King of Miatas. Welcome to the Miata Kingdom, Miatamecca. Today's episode is going to be all about a Miata engine connecting rod knock, 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 knock. So, your name might be on the title. It might be parked in your garage, but I'm the owner because I'm the King of Miatas. Hey! What are we waiting for? Let's get down to the shop and get started. Welcome everybody to this episode of our Black and Tan 93 Miata. We're going to introduce you to this car. We bought this car. A young fella called me on the phone. He says, I got one of those Miatas with a lifter, a tick to it. I said, oh, bring it by. It probably needs an oil change. We can help you fix that up. Well, when he brought it in, it was worse than he thought. It was worse than what we thought. And what it has is it has a connecting rod knock. You can hear the engine actually knocking. And to diagnose a connecting rod knock on an engine, the procedure is actually to start the engine up and then disconnect the spark plugs one at a time until you find the spark plug, the disconnected spark plug, or that cylinder, and the audible noise will change because there's not the pressure, the actual combustion, the explosion happening in the cylinder, so the noise gets less and becomes more silent. So we're going to start it up and listen to it, and then we're going to disconnect the spark plugs one at a time. We'll start with number one. Number one is always, on any engine, is always nearest to the fan belts. Even on a V8. If you look at a V8, look at the cylinders, they're splayed. The closest one to the fan belt is number one. So we're going to start with number one, and then we'll work through number four. Let me get it started. As you can see, this noise is close in a lifter kick, and it sounds like holy heck. So we'll start with number one. think he's gonna blow! Lower down! She's still breathing! I can't believe it. She's gonna get a reprieve. She's still breathing. She's still running. She's still breathing. There she is. She's still breathing. I can see the crankshaft spinning round and round. She's a phoenix. Resurrection. No, Mr. Bill, no! So it was. The Phoenix Black and Tan became urban legend. After the resurrection, a raffle was held, and a nightingale was given to the emperor. Now stay tuned for more live action from Miatamecca.
Miatas in bloom. The transmission will zoom, zoom. We'll try to push the clutch, keep the gas pedal down. See the rear wheels spinning around. Another gear, another square. Starting to drift, power slide I feel. Radio belts wrapped around our minds. And endless asphalt to keep the law behind.